One day I swear I'm gonna get a fader for this thing, so I don't have to do it manually, and I can be all happy and jovial with the two of you. Oh, that's right, Seattle's on a bye week. Now it all makes sense. But welcome to the Sad Fan, where we talk about the good, the bad, and everything that made you sad, and how you don't play the Bears after Dick Butkus dies, because it will go down.
It is true. It is true.
It kind of appears like the only time you shouldn't play the Bears.
Apparently.
Well,
Go ahead,
he
Wes.
only dies once.
That we know of. The U.S. government does have, in case of zombie, plan. So we don't know.
They do.
He could die more than once. Now,
So you're saying they're gonna go 1-16?
or 2 or 3. Let's see how many times he rises. But the Raiders were on still when I woke up this morning to get ready for work, and I already told Wes this in the production meeting. I looked at my phone and I said, "Oh, cool, just in time to be sad." Because I saw who had the ball, I saw how much time was left on the clock, and I saw the score. And then I proceeded to watch the next 2 minutes, and I gotta say, to all the fans of the show that have been watching me for a while, I've been saying since Patrick Graham got hired, so for a year and a half now, all you have to do to beat a Patrick Graham defense is throw right to the middle of the field, over and over and over again. It's wide open. And I was so validated when in the last 2 minutes, Troy Aikman drew. Why is he not throwing here on the teleprompter?
I feel like you're more sad that they won.
Well, I mean, there goes a draft pick because I have zero faith in Josh McDaniels. Zero faith in Josh McDaniels.
So you're
Jacoby
on the tank
Myers,
for Caleb train?
I'm not in the tank for Caleb, but I am on the train of, because I don't think they'll get Caleb. I think there's worse teams than the Raiders, despite how bad our coaching is. But Max Crosby is a superstar. I think I've been saying that since Hard Knocks. I've been saying, man, that guy is really good from Eastern Michigan. That guy is really good. I don't know, man. That guy looks like he reminded me of Howie Long or Jared Allen right away. Like with his energy, his motor, how he looks on the field, how he plays with his long wingspan, right? That's what coins him the Condor. He's so good. And I feel so bad for him that the Raiders drafted him. So bad.
That's fair. That is fair.
Now he did re-sign for a lot of money. And he's going to go down as what is probably, as long as they don't trade him and screw this up, probably the best Raiders football player since Charles Woodson. Right? He won this game tonight by himself. You go, well, AJ Spillane picked off 2 balls. Look in the backfield at somebody hanging off of the corpse of what was Jordan Love, and it's Max Crosby. All right?
Yeah.
Now, in the very final play of the game, you're going to see Jordan Love throw an interception, and you're going to say Raiders defense. I will fight you on this. Patrick Graham is such shit that Christian Watkins was wide open, streaking down the field, 4 yards behind Amik Robertson. So Jordan Love had to try to lose this game, and he did.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Now, outside of that, I am happy the Raiders won. Wes pointed out I seem to be more happy or more upset that they won. I'm not. I just don't want to see Josh McDaniels get any credit he shouldn't get. 17 points off 3 interceptions.
Yeah, there were a lot of opportunities for them to do more than 3 and out, and yet 3 and out they went.
Yeah.
It was pretty sad.
Jimmy's bad. Sorry, guys. Sorry, all you Jimmy stans. I think we're seeing that with what Brock Purdy is able to do. And a lot of people were like, well, Jimmy Graham won the Super Bowl. Jimmy Graham's running game won a Super Bowl. Made it to the Super Bowl, pardon me. Jimmy Graham's arm lost them that Super Bowl. Garoppolo. 49ers Chiefs.
I was like, Jimmy Graham's a tight end, bro.
Did I say Graham? My bad.
Yeah.
Garoppolo. Thank you for correcting me. That's how I learned. But Jimmy Garoppolo's running game got him to the Super Bowl. That's what put Raheem Mostert on the map, right? Was that running game.
Yeah.
And his coaching got him there. And his arm lost them the Super Bowl. If you rewatch that Super Bowl, they were in it. And then Jimmy Garoppolo throws the ball inexplicably 20 yards behind his wide receiver. And all of a sudden the Chiefs win, right? The 49ers were absolutely in that game. 49ers defense has been good for a lot of years. They've been good for a lot of years, right? That's what puts D'Amico in Houston. Outside of all this football stuff, we've got baseball going on. And baseball tends to get lost in the shuffle, right? Good old America's game, or what used to be.
Unless you have a team that's in it.
Unless you have it's a very regional sport now, right?
It is. It really is.
However, the Dodgers, I think, have behind the Yankees and Red Sox, maybe equal to the Yankees and Red Sox. I got to be careful here because I already called out East Coast bias last week. The largest following. And they might get swept right out of the playoffs by the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think as we speak, Arizona is about to close out their game against the Dodgers, if I'm not mistaken. Are they about to close this out? Or did they already close it out?
Nope, it's still bottom of the ninth, one out, and it's 4-2 right now.
So Arizona's about to close that out. Wes, you and I got to go to a Diamondbacks game.
That was fun. I love their stadium.
Year. Yeah, their stadium's fantastic. Yeah. It was a great time. And we met some cool folks. What was it, Reggie and Tyler from New York?
I don't remember.
From where?
I was drunk, bro.
Well, they were from Minnesota, but they were Mets fans. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And we got to go to that game. Tyler didn't like us too much. Reggie liked us quite a bit.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, though, so it was kind of like a tempered down atmosphere because it was still like during like COVID
pandemic.
Yeah. And so it wasn't as packed as I imagine it is right now.
But they also were terrible. Is what I was.
They were terrible back then.
They were terrible. And here they are.
I think it was like maybe like 4,000 people there.
And here they are about to go up 2-0 on the Dodgers, who are amazing. And I suppose Chelsea, if you could fact check me on this, look at their payrolls. And I bet the Dodgers have a solid $100 million above what the Diamondbacks payroll is,
Probably.
which is crazy to think that a team with that high of a payroll is about to go down 2-0 to the Diamondbacks. Go ahead, Chelsea. Sorry, I thought you gave me the signal. I apologize.
No, so their total payroll is $240.2 million.
Wow.
And if we scroll all the way down here, $119.3 million for the Diamondbacks.
I told you I would venture a guess to say it's $100 million above what the Diamondbacks payroll is. So I was pretty darn close to almost exactly right on there.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And only in baseball do we see that happen thanks to things like Moneyball. But the teams, it's like the teams for a while there that started winning the World Series, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the traditional winners, went to Moneyball, but with spending money. And now all of a sudden they're just spending money again, and it's not paying off. And the Rays, the Orioles, even the
Yankees and the Red Sox didn't make it this year, and they are up top. Mets too.
As far as payroll is concerned, right? The Braves are looking like the Braves again last game, but the Phillies look amazing. But those two teams have extremely high payrolls. But then we drop down to the Orioles and Rangers. Orioles were probably the best team in baseball this year. I'm going to be careful because the Braves would like a word. But you know what strikes me as interesting about the Orioles? It's their entire farm system. That's what did this. So they've got all of these players on value contracts. And if they've got them on value contracts, they've probably got all of these players for the next 5 to 10 years. As long as they don't trade.
That's what the Mariners were trying to do, but they also needed to supplement it with proven veterans, which they never did.
We'll see, because you know what? You might be right, because the Rangers have a few of those proven veterans on their staff. And I think they have Max Scherzer now, right? Or is it Verlander? They have one of those aces on their staff now because they traded them. They traded the Mets. But it looks like the Orioles are probably going to get swept out by the Rangers, who also beat up on the Rays.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, baseball is just crazy. Like, nothing, you just really don't know until right there at the World Series, like, who's going to win. I have to be honest, I haven't been paying attention all summer. There's just been so many other sports things going on, and now we're in
hot
football
dog eating
season.
contest in July, right?
Now my football season is just like we're like at 8 games. I can't fit
it's in the background.
NLDS. I don't have a screen to put it on.
Your capacity can only handle so much.
Mm-hmm.
Plus WNBA. Las Vegas Aces blew out the New York Liberty in Game 1. So there's a lot going on.
They're good.
Sorry, I'm an Aces fan. We're about to go back to back. I adopted the Aces when the Raiders arrived in Las Vegas.
I think at this point you're just a Vegas fan now.
I'm getting there. I am getting there because the A's are about to move to Las Vegas.
You should take down that Kraken flag and just put up a Golden Knight flag.
No, I committed to the Kraken. I told you I don't have I don't have a real allegiance to any hockey team. And you and I went to so many games that inaugural season. And as you know, that is from 3-2.
March 2nd.
You and I were there at the celebration of them existing within the NHL. And then the very next year, we had that beautiful, glorious, wonderful run through the playoffs, right? To where they only lost to what was the eventual champions.
Yeah.
To be clear.
They took out the defending champs, too.
They took out the Colorado Avalanche. They definitely pucked them. But it was... Sorry.
Gotta get around the censor somehow.
But yeah, I'm sort of becoming a Las Vegas fan, I guess. I don't really have a choice in the matter because my allegiance is to the teams that exist there. Let's get to college football. Baseball is fun, but the two of you the well is run dry, I think, on your guys' baseball knowledge. So
truly.
Wes, who do you want to blast this week? You've been doing it in the chat all night long while I was asleep, and I just woke up to all these messages. Who is it?
Former Oregon coach Mario Cristobal, the dumbass, do not censor this, who decided to run the ball with 30 seconds left, and Georgia Tech had no timeouts, and they fumbled the ball, and Georgia Tech proceeded to go like 75 yards in 2 plays in 30 seconds, and they lost the game. So congratulations on probably making the dumbest coaching decision I've ever seen in any level of competitive football,
he did
including
it in Oregon.
high school.
Yeah, he did it at Oregon.
Well, so the thing is, the Oregon one was very stupid, but it wasn't as stupid because if he had taken knees, they still would have punted with like 15 seconds left. And I've seen plays like I think it's Michigan that comes to mind, Michigan State, where the punter fumbled the ball.
Yeah, thanks for that.
The punter man, he fumbled the ball, and then Michigan State returned it for a touchdown with like 5 seconds left. Yeah. But still extremely stupid, and the odds were definitely with him at Oregon, the Oregon game, were definitely with him just to kneel down.
Yeah.
And this one, it was 100%. If he kneels, unless the quarterback somehow fumbles while kneeling, and they get it, which is never happened, I think, they win. That's it. They win. And instead, he tells his running back to run it up the gut for whatever reason. So congratulations, Miami. You hired the dumbest head coach in college football.
The worst part is that Miami has not done a 4th down kneel to end the game. Your standard victory formation.
Cristobal never has. Go back all the way to Oregon. FIU, he doesn't kneel.
He hates kneeling.
Why?
Yeah.
Because kneeling is for beta males, okay? He's an alpha male.
Well,
alphas don't kneel.
Lose, I guess.
I mean, you only need to do this stupidity once to realize that it's either a win,
apparently not,
or there's room for error. But who knows?
Honestly,
all I know is that I don't think that there is a single play that could happen the rest of the college football season that would knock that down a peg from my personal not top 10 of the season. It was that bad.
If I'm the university president,
lose the game.
I'm kiffining him on the tarmac.
You can't. They can't afford it. Miami doesn't have the alumni base or the money that most other schools have, and they're still paying Manny Diaz. They can't afford it.
You know what's interesting? So both big time steals 2 years ago. So when Miami stole Cristobal from Oregon, because Cristobal, for all of his faults, he is a fantastic recruiter. I don't know why people want to play for him, but he is a very good recruiter. One of the best in the world. And then also
rings, Wes, from when he played college football.
Lincoln Riley when USC stole him from Oklahoma, if you look at what Oklahoma did, Oklahoma is playing better than USC. Oregon is playing better than Miami. So you know what? I think it worked out for both teams.
And Chelsea, you have some words about Lincoln Riley and USC. What's going on there?
Okay, so I stayed up until like 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe even later, my time.
Yeah.
To watch the entire USC Arizona game, and it went to triple overtime. And Arizona is not good. They are just
trash.
I wouldn't put them at the very bottom of our league. There's still room for, going downhill. But USC really
Stanford.
Yeah. Stanford. USC really just played down to their level, and it was pathetic. I've never seen so many turnovers. I've never seen so many just botched everything. The USC kicker couldn't even figure out how to actually kick the ball. He kicked the turf and then tried to kick the ball, and then I don't know. The whole game was so ridiculous that I just want to shove USC out of my I can't though, because they've beat other people. I don't know.
And you need them for Oregon to have that big win.
Yes. Well, we are playing Washington this weekend, who is also undefeated, and there's Penix, playing at Heisman quality level. So
Penix.
It'll
College
be
game
really
day coming.
It's such a difficult name for me. Penix.
It really is. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to actually going and singing it in person with that guy over there.
Is he gonna wear the jersey that he has that's split right down the middle of Oregon and Washington?
I don't have one of those.
Wes, where'd you graduate from again?
Doesn't matter. It matters where I grew up.
What matters is my roots, bro.
Exactly.
Where are my roots at?
My roots are
I just
Eugene.
like to think that I have this much influence over my brother, that even though my brother paid for not only an undergraduate but also a master's.
I didn't pay for it.
Both for
The military and the Boeing paid for it.
And the Boeing.
The Boeing company.
But even though he went and got both of these degrees from the University of Washington, he's still.
So here's the thing: if the Oregon University system wasn't so screwed up. The Oregon University system, because they oversee Oregon and Oregon State. If they would let Oregon have an engineering degree or an engineering program, I probably would have went to Oregon for engineering.
I think that has to do with the bureaus of accreditation. I don't think that's Oregon's fault. I think
it
when Oregon and Oregon State,
a whole other conversation.
So yeah, I'll just say when Oregon and Oregon State were they split out certain programs among the two to reduce competition between the schools. It's pretty stupid.
So you refuse to be a beaver.
I refuse. I wasn't gonna go to school in Cowtown. Smell like manure every day.
Wow, this got aggressive.
Yeah, I don't want them getting dumped on the side of the road into Mountain West, but I also would never go there in a million years.
Well, they're putting on a show right now.
I don't care if it was free.
I don't care if it was free. Now, I will say this. Chelsea said that in her not top 10, it would have Cristobal's call, not the poor running back that actually turns out didn't fumble the ball, because they've replayed it now multiple times at link because we can't live this down. And he was down.
And Cristobal blamed him. He said, "You need to put 2 hands on the ball. We talk about that in practice." Shut the hell up. It's your own dumbass fault.
I mean, it really is his own fault. But I'd like to nominate Miami's defense in that not top 10, because who were they playing again? Was it Georgia Tech, a team famous for air raid? No, they're the option offense, Georgia Tech Hornets, who just hand off the ball and bore you to death every single game, and you allowed them to go down the field in 3 plays and beat you with a deep ball passing touchdown, which was a dime, by the way.
Yeah,
but the number one rule is don't let him get behind you. You have to be the deepest man on the field.
The receiver was triple covered. And he still got behind all of them.
So that's my pick. Now, really quick before we move on to the NFL.
Whoa. We're not done. Can we give a shout out to Notre Dame? getting their ass kicked by Louisville. I was down in Louisville, and I'm really sad I didn't go to the game. Yeah. I was just incredibly tired.
So sad for you.
I know, but it was.
Oh, you
it
were.
Was
I
awesome.
remember the pictures now.
I could hear the fireworks going off outside of my hotel room window, and I was like, "Oh, I should be at this game." But it was so awesome watching them get demolished by Louisville.
That's so funny.
Louisville is legit this year.
Me after the Jaguars game in London, I was kind of the same. I was so tired and I wasn't super hungover, but a little bit. I remember laying on my hotel bed like, I could just take a train home, and it's an immediate train. It's going to be home in like 46 minutes. Or I could go to Camden Market and try the food. And I was like, I just kind of want to go home. And then when I was on the train, I was like, I probably should have gone to the market.
Yeah.
But are we tired of Colorado is what I was going to get at. I wasn't ready for the NFL yet. Shedeur Sanders is the MVP of beating one-win teams.
I mean, fine. I'll take it. I've been tired of them since before the season even started. Like, okay, yes, so maybe I had just a freezing cold take, okay, that they were going to win one, maybe two games. That we've already, let's throw that out the window. But I did say that I think
wasn't
they're
going to say anything.
Way overhyped for what they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the publicity
no
they've gotten has been tampered down since they got blown out by Oregon. They still get publicity because it's because Deion Sanders.
Well, they were on the Pac-12 network this week, so
yeah. Well, there's that. But hold on, let's roll back the tape 2 weeks to when they played USC, and Fox Big Noon Saturday was there for the game, and every other commercial is still
Can we
Deion
get
Sanders.
Urban Meyer off my damn televiation. Speaking of that,
please
get. I would like to never see his face again. Sorry, Chelsea, go ahead.
I would double my streaming service fees if they could just remove it. I mean, my goodness. But no, I mean, the problem is that there was so much disrespect towards Oregon because they still kept on saying, well, that was like a one-off thing, and they kept on just promoting Colorado, like, oh, they're going to come back, they're going to push back, it's going to be amazing, they're going to show USC how bad they are, which, LOL, they actually are not a good team. So, I mean, what do you do? What do you do when just the media just fixates on one thing, allows no room for all the other conversation? Well, I'm glad that we've finally gotten to the point where after the USC loss, everyone was like, oh, okay, maybe they aren't that good. And now we're talking about everybody else in college football.
Yeah, I will say this. I said at the very first game, Shedeur Sanders can play. Obviously, his skills at reading defense are decent. He can move just enough to escape pressure, but his deep ball is questionable. I've been saying it since week 1, and I stand by it. His deep ball is questionable. He needs the guys wide open, and he needs time to set his feet to get that deep ball down the field and in the hands of his wide receiver. He's got some playmakers. Travis Hunter is very important to that team. You see that. You see why he plays both sides of the ball. But to go down the field and show your Rolex to the fan section at Arizona State, again, a one-win team, let me again say that, you're forgetting, Shedeur, you didn't earn shit. I'm just going to say it, and I'm not disparaging him. I'm being honest. You were born on third base. Your dad is one of the, if not the best cornerbacks to ever play the game. All right? I don't know where you'd be because we don't live in some alternate universe where I could see where you'd be without him being your father. But if I was to venture, I guess I'd say playing backup at some power conference team. Or in Maryland with Tagovailoa. You don't like that take, Wes?
No, I mean...
Let's remember where he started his career. But go ahead, Chelsea.
Maybe he'd still be at J-State. Seriously.
Yeah.
This... And it's not a knock
against him. There's nothing wrong with that, to be very clear.
No, absolutely not. That's still a huge accomplishment with how many high school programs there are in the country. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
But the thing is you're right. He is... I mean, he immediately gets all these commercials and NIL deals for KFC and stuff. But notice he's not standing there alone.
Yeah.
in these commercials ever. He can't do commercials by himself because he has no like actual people see him and they don't put two and two together just yet. He's not that famous. He's not that generally that important just yet. He needs to prove himself on Sundays, and now he probably has the opportunity to get picked up by a
He's
team.
probably the 7th or 8th or 9th best quarterback in college football right now.
You're going that high?
Clear. What'd you say?
I said you're going that high?
Yeah, I do think he's got skills. I do think he's got skills. I think Tyler Van Dyke, even though he played like trash in Georgia against Georgia Tech, I think he's better, and I think that's where we start. Who's better than Tyler Van Dyke? Right? So Quinn Ewers is obviously better than him, even though he played like trash against Oklahoma. He came back and had a pretty decent. Well, he came back and had a better game in the back half of that game. He was clearly throwing up on his shoes at the beginning of the Red River rivalry, which we're not going to have time to talk about, which shocked me that Oklahoma won that game because the talent level on Texas is so much higher. Go ahead, Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely. And that game really, I mean, there was mistakes on both sides of the ball. It was very ugly, very scrappy, very dirty. Just the way you love a traditional rivalry game, and that's why I hate conference breakups. But it really came down to the last 15 seconds where Oklahoma happened to just get it. And that's all it is. It was kind of just one of those, at any point in the game, it was just a coin toss. Of who
Arch Manning might be better than Shador Sanders, and he's the backup quarterback in Texas.
Other Nepo baby. Ooh.
Another one, yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. But his uncles don't coach, or did they play at Texas? Nor did they play at Texas. So he didn't go to Ole Miss. He didn't go to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, he didn't go to any legacy school. He's paving his own road.
But
good for him.
With that last name, really, is he really paving?
I mean, I don't know. Chad Kelly.
Bo Nix is paving his own way. He was the Nepo baby for a couple years.
Shut up. Anyway, Bo Nix.
His father was a legacy Auburn football player.
Yeah, when you get to be 27 years old and play against 18-year-olds, you're going to look pretty awesome. Same with Penix. I'm not letting him out of that. It's the battle of the AARP of college football next week.
You're so mad that UCLA sucks.
I know. We completely negate the COVID year just because we can talk about all these teams. Oh, look how great they are. I'm like, they've got grown men on the field. They better be good. They're 25 years old.
They've had 10 years in the system.
We might as well drop MLB players into Little League Baseball, into the Little League Baseball World Series. It's crazy. They're very good. You're right. For people that are going to be playing in NFL Canada soon. But
you're so wrong. But that's okay. You're cute when you're mad.
Well, who does Hendon Hooker start for again, Wes? Who does Hendon Hooker start for?
I'm not talking about Hendon Hooker.
Wes, who's he starting for in the NFL? You were all on him last year.
Fry! I'm not talking about Hendon Hooker. Fry!
It's going to end up the same. Bo Nix is going to be on someone's bench, buried somewhere, just like Jake Fromm, another 80-year-old quarterback that made
That's what you said about Herbert.
Stetson Bennett, another 80-year-old quarterback from Georgia that made it to the NFL. It's just drowning on the bench in Los Angeles. Charlie Fry, how great was he?
Charlie Fry, Brandy Whedon, let me name all these guys.
Yeah, exactly. You're just going to be wrong on this. But in college, I would stay in college forever if I got the chance to, too. Especially now with NIL. Be the big man on campus forever. The weirdo at all the frat parties that's just like, why do you look older than everyone here? Why not?
Married with 3 kids in a minivan.
I think that's the
Bo Nix is 23.
State. No, I legitimately think that...
Bo Nix is 23. That's not that old.
How old is Justin Fields?
He's married with minivan.
Okay, how old are most of the players at BYU after their missionary year? 23.
Which is why BYU can compete. So
BYU sucks. They don't compete for crap, but okay.
Yeah, wait till next year when they're all 23.
They're 5-1. What are you talking about?
BYU sucks.
I've only got a couple minutes left, guys. We got to get back on track. So the 49ers went in and showed us that the Cowboys are who we thought they were. They told you Dak Prescott was fake. I said, how about that? I even released the clip last week of me talking about Cowboys. That's how confident I was that the 49ers were going to beat the Cowboys. And they didn't just beat the Cowboys. They They
They
George
decimated
Kittled. They
them.
George Kittled. Bleep them boys. The Cowboys.
You know what's going to be great? When the 49ers make it to the Super Bowl and they choke again. It's going to be amazing.
This is just you being a hater of the 49ers because you're a Seahawks
They're
fan.
really good, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl because they always
are
choke.
really good. They are very, very scary. And should they get through the rest of the season with, limited injuries, they are, I don't know, like Kansas City has already shown that they've got some issues going on. They've got some problems. I mean, Kelsey gets touched another time, he might just explode. He's held together with Toradol and tape.
Yeah, the Chiefs look rough. The AFC is the best conference, I think. But I think that the NFC has the two best teams in the NFL in the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. And those two teams are going to run into each other. And that game is going to be amazing.
What week is that?
No, in the playoffs.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
playoffs.
In the playoffs. I think that is a collision course. So hats off to Brock Purdy. I'm so sick of the media being like, well, we are the media now. But I am so sick of my other media cohorts that are much more famous than me going, where did this Brock Purdy come from? Dude, he was good at Iowa State. He was good at Iowa State for a long time. And he made Iowa State relevant for a long time. Yes, Breece Hall was there towards the end of his career as well.
But nobody cares about Iowa State.
So no one was watching, right?
But
and
they were decent.
He was good. He was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He was consistently at the beginning of the season. If the Heisman Trophy wasn't just based on wins, he was consistently a quarterback that was one of the best in college football. And unfortunately, a huge stat we look at, which is not an identifier of greatness in any sport, is wins. And he just
does
couldn't
show
win.
clutch time performance. But yeah, I mean, he was surrounded by some definitely weak areas. And that's a shame because I mean he is pretty good. He is doing some amazing things, and
So here's the thing, though: if he was as good as you say, at Iowa State, he would have been drafted higher.
Why?
Just because the NFL doesn't care what school you go to.
That's fair. I guess you have, North Dakota. Oh, wait, North Dakota wins the championship in their league like every year. So what are you talking about? Your only example is going to be like Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is a very good example. He was drafted in the first round, and he went to Wyoming.
That's a good example. That is a good example, and that's why I gave it.
Yeah.
But
there's
where
plenty
else
of
do you
others,
have?
too.
Yeah, tell me them. Name
Let
names.
me go through. I'll provide you with a list next week, and you're going to be like, oh, crap, I was wrong. Okay, thanks, Wes.
No, I mean, I think you're like Ryan Leaf went to Washington State in 1998.
Ryan Leaf was a bust, but okay, bro.
No, but he was very, very good, and he got drafted in the first round. He's very, very good in college football. He was drafted just behind Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Those are big shoes.
Ryan Leaf had some other issues.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Some off the field on it.
He was not drafted in the first round.
Where was he drafted? You tell me.
Not the first round. You think a Harvard guy was drafted in the first round? You think the Wonderlic sealed the deal?
Moving on.
I do want to get to a couple of things. The Dolphins. I love McDaniel's quote at the end of the game when he was told by a reporter that their team now had the most yards from scrimmage in the first 5 weeks. And he goes, well, we accomplished our season's goal. That was it. Being the best offense ever through the first 5 weeks. Go ahead, Wes.
Steve McNair went to Alcorn State. He was picked number 3 overall.
90s again. Thank you. I went to the 90s
Alcorn
too with
State.
Ryan Leaf.
Alcorn State. You ever heard of that? No. Neither have I.
Yes.
You have not heard of Alcorn State,
Yes,
bro.
I have. Can I end the show?
No.
Please.
So Miami Dolphins, I love that quote from McDaniels. But if that defense, or when that defense gets healthy, because you have Jalen Ramsey, right, who's been out till December, that team looks scary as well, just like the 49ers, right? It's basically the 49ers of the East.
I don't buy it yet.
No? Okay. Really? 70 points
Yeah.
didn't do it for you?
To the Broncos, who I wish they would have scored 90.
The Broncos
just go ahead
suck.
and do it. Just keep going.
Yeah,
So
Russell
they beat up on the
Wilson
Giants.
fumbled and blew the game. So good job, Russ.
Now, okay, so if you don't buy this, Chelsea, do you believe in Minshew magic?
I don't know what that is.
Really?
How do you not know? The
Gardner
mustachioed
Minshew.
magician.
Yeah. Old Fu Manchu Minshew? Are you
The
really
savior
drawing a
of the
blank
Jags.
on the quarterback of Washington State that came into the NFL drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now he quarterbacks the Indianapolis Colts? Gardner Minshew. You're going to hate yourself when you Google this after the show. But anyway, Wes, are you a believer in Gardner
Yes.
Minshew?
I've been a believer forever.
He'll win you a game, right? Like,
Yeah.
he'll go in there and he'll win you. He's going to look good doing it, but he's going to go in there and he's going to win you a game. And
So,
he
the
did
only
it for
thing
the Colts.
I think he got rid of his Fu Manchu. I think he has a full beard now,
Does
which
he
is
have a full
depressing.
beard now?
Yeah.
Well, he went in there and he won a game when Anthony Richardson went out. Who Colts fans get used to that. Get used to that because he's been out for so much of this season. And there's the light bulb. He's been out for so much of this season. And Gardner Minshew's won both games that he's come into. I think he lost the game he started. Go ahead, Chelsea.
In my defense, like, first of all, I barely paid attention to watching football until, like, I don't know, now because it's relevant. But also, I can't get Colts games in my like, because due to the blackout. So I had like blackout restrictions. So I never see them. I'm sorry. No disrespect, man.
It's okay. It's all right. And you know what, fans? We got so much more to talk about, but no disrespect, man. I have to go to work. So thank you so much for tuning in each and every week. We
Carson Wentz,
appreciate
North Dakota
you.
State.
We've got a ton. I said North Dakota State, but Wes wasn't paying attention. So thank you so much for tuning in each and every week. We appreciate you. Remember, you can find us on the SadFan Podcast Network. The SadFan's all one word. On YouTube. You can also find us at the SadFan Cast and the SadFan 12 on all of your social media outlets. Thanks so much for tuning in every week, and we will see you
Joe
next
Flacco,
week.
Delaware. See ya.
I can't.